The Brimstone Man checked his notes once more. Patterns of movement out of the north and the west, assorted skirmishes with no discernible pattern yet. A cold war, two sides feeling each other out, looking for weaknesses, testing each other's mettle, while they each pursued what? There was the rub. The Brimstone Man had no idea what they wanted. Starfall was, by comparison, a straightforward place. There were thousands of humans there, each grasping for political, magical, and technological power. That he could understand, no matter how much backstabbing, how many layers of intrigue there were. It was the same in Daggermark and Galt before that. People were fundamentally simple, at least as far as the Brimstone Man was concerned. You could track them to what they wanted, and you could turn their desires against them. These things, he assumed that they were fundamentally the same. It was merely a matter of understanding their motivations. The big ones looked more like animals, moved more like animals, and they had a less identifiable intelligence, but the Brimstone Man wasn't fooled. Despite their profoundly ugly, monstrous appearances, he saw real purpose in what they did, in the way they watched the little pink ones, coveted something that they had. The little pink ones, he figured, had been there longer. They moved like they knew the territory, moved like they owned the territory, and they swarmed the big ones like they were defending their home. The Brimstone Man nodded to himself and scribbled a few more notes. He wondered, if he waited long enough, if the two sides would simply wipe each other out. That would certainly make his job easier. This is Pod Against the Machine.
Pod Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pod Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play that has 3 arms and still refuses to equip its shield. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
Hello.
Those arms were made for hugging. Maybe like a mean pickleball game, Sam. Mm-hmm. One of these days, these arms are going to hug all over you.
All over you.
Yeah, they're going to come back from the dead as just like a swarm of arms, I think. Gonna write that one down. What happened last week? It was so long ago at this point. Our party decided that they had had enough of the door that shoots steam for one day, so they did a little healing, and then they tracked their way back to Peter's orchard. On the way, a couple of them caught sight of a weird bug-like pink thing that Brixby was able to actually place as a me-go, some sort of alien spacefaring plant-like creature, just totally normal kind of thing to have in a valley. And then they finished making their way back to Peter's, where they bedded down for the night, had some watches. Brixby had a nice dream that kept him up for a big chunk of the night. And Alwyn felt like someone was watching him, but he didn't see anyone, and nobody tried to kill them, so it was probably fine. The next day, the party asked Peter about the pink bug creatures flying through the forest, and he said that's one of the butchers. And everybody should probably avoid the said butchers. And the party doesn't really seem interested in avoiding the butchers particularly much. But first they wanted to go back and get their car from the entrance to the valley and bring it over to Peter's, just so he can maybe keep an eye on it or something. And on the way back, they were confronted by a rather surly and aggressive 3-armed, 18-foot-tall giant who didn't really want any conversation. He just wanted to smash and claw people. Unfortunately for him, it's the one who got smashed and clawed. And the party took his oversized equipment and headed out, and they found the Halleck waiting for them where they left it. That's where we are now.
So yeah, we I don't know, put our new novelty bumper stickers on there. Scars for spiders.
My other vehicle is a 10-foot long goopy snake.
Yes. It's in the shape of a snake. Yeah, I think like an ironic daily stag sticker, of course. And then obviously, it's kind of like Dutch Brothers out here on the West Coast. Charlie's has like an incredibly outsized merch team that is working at an unhuman speed. So there's 45 different Charlie stickers, kind of.
Oh, you got to collect them all.
Yeah.
First of the month. Sticker day. I think it's important, and by that I mean it's completely not, to note that every time you say "me go," I hear it as Christopher Walken. Brixby identified this creature as me go.
Caveman Christopher Walken.
As a Christopher Walken. Oh man. Yeah, that is the most terrifying Christopher Walken I have ever identified with a knowledge nature check.
Does it tell any stories about gold watches by chance?
Just tells you why the Yankees always win.
And you can also debate that in our surprisingly sports-laden Discord. I'm sure we'll have a sports channel by the time you're here.
Reeking of sports.
Okay.
I mean, sports.
Sports against the machine, probably.
Cut this out, but I can't name a single player on this team ever since Damian Lillard got traded, because I just wear this to keep my hair down.
Is that not a Pokeball?
Yeah, no, it's the Blazers logo.
Huh.
I found this hat in a car, and
The
I wear
Blazers,
it.
though. Hey.
Hey,
See,
yeah, weed.
I don't think of a Pokeball when I see it. I think of that thing that makes Samus spin in the old Game Boy Metroid games, which also looks exactly like the Blazers logo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we got the Halleck. I'm assuming we're going to drive it back and park it in Pieter's farm, right?
I think that's the plan.
Even though it hovers, we drive it over the attack.
Yeah.
Just
Run
back
over one of
over
those trees on the way back.
Just crash through several monsters on the way in. Just hit
Oh.
every tree just in case.
I have to justify the scroll purchase anyway, the 25 gold, so I silent image it to look like a big dumb horse that we're all riding on together.
It's just a giant silent horse stampeding through the valley.
This looks like a Mazda Miata.
Surprisingly, nothing gives you any trouble on the way back to Peter's on your giant silent horse.
Ghost riders in the sky.
So I think when you arrive back at Peter's with your illusory horse ship, he's just going to kind of stare at it and say, that's a strange horse.
Yes, it is, but there's a thing under it that we need to keep here. We're gonna make it look like a different compost pile, other than that one, and that one, and that one. You have a lot of compost around here.
Well, you got different stages and you need different levels of acidity and nitrogen. You can't, nitrogen. You know how it is.
You know nitrogen.
Yeah, I'm
You and nitrogen
totally
go
that
way
kind
back.
of smart. Yes. But anyway, just leave this one alone, and then we can just stake it and make it look like a real raunchy comp post.
Maybe like a new pile of compost, like it's just food scraps.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Oh yeah, there's
that's too fresh to touch.
right, totally, and so poorly balanced, like Sam was referencing. It's just nothing but just heavy food scraps, got nothing else mixed in there. Maybe some weird bones.
Just unidentifiable bones.
And you can't help but look at it and go, that's going to get overheated. It's going to smell.
If only I had illusory terrain, I would. I would make it smell.
Well, yeah, Pater is surprisingly chill about watching a horse turn into a spaceship, turn into a compost pile. And he's like, well, I guess that's fine there for the time being, but that's not its forever home, right? Because I'm not wonderful with the machines. I don't love them being around.
Yeah, but think of it more as, we'll respect it. We'll keep it very far up the edge of your grove, away. Just think of it as like a tool, right, that maybe helps you walk around or something.
He's just going to eye it suspiciously. Maybe poke it with a stick.
Take it with us when we go. It's our primary means of conveyance. We can't just leave it here.
All right, well, as long as it eventually is out of here, then I'm willing to be okay with it for now.
Thank you.
There's like a seat warmer. I haven't told anyone else about it, because I'm the only one who rolled a high enough knowledge engineer. But if you get in there, you press it here, you feel like you wet yourself.
But in a good
It's a
way.
feature, not a bug. And Trozzy will definitely take the keys, because if we're inviting Pater to go inside, the last thing we need him to do is take a joyride.
Or pee on the
Accidentally
seat.
crash into his cave.
Just fills it with more dirt and grows vegetables inside of the haylick.
It's now a raised bed. I'm sorry.
Oops,
There's a
all
whole-
hydroponics bay.
There's a vermiculture situation going on in the cup holders.
That's that species' thing about the rat folk.
What's the plan from here?
Machine
I'm gonna head back to that
Yeah,
door.
back to Machine Cave, I think, right? Yeah.
caved in machine. Yeah.
Just caving in those machines.
What we do.
I'm gonna hit that good mage armor and shield right when we get outside of the. There we go, right there, outside of the old machine cave.
Oh,
Yeah, and before we
machine
go
gun.
in, Alwyn will also cast delay poison on everybody,
Very
and
nice.
he'll use one of his 3 charges on the metamagic rod to make it last much longer. So we each get normally just 1 hour. So we each get 11 hour. It does it double? I still don't remember how this rod works,
Yeah,
and
it
the double
doubles.
thing doesn't tell me. It doubles? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 22 total hours of rod split between 4 people.
Excellent. So 5.25 hours.
Yeah.
Right? 5.5? No, there's
Yes.
a snake.
Oh, snake. Yes.
Oh wait, no, 20 hours. I'm not caster level 11. I'm character level 11.
Okay, so
That's much easier
3
math.
and some change.
Yeah, that's much easier. That's 5 exactly.
Oh yeah, wait, there's 5 of us. Okay, great.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. Curious, is the robot trap that we definitely avoided on our way out, has it been set off?
Well, if you've brought yourselves back into the cave, right now you're sitting outside the cave. But heading back in there, it looks like something set off that little robot trap, and it has been exploded.
Ooh.
Oh.
Do we see signs of damage from it, like blood or anything?
No signs of blood, just kind of an exploded little robot.
Can I just percept hard and
Yeah,
see
sure.
if I see anything? Okay, thank you.
Likewise, seeing the exploded robot, Tarazi would kind of point it out wordlessly, and then would roll a nat 20 on survival for a 30 to see
Wow.
if he could tell what direction somebody may have come or gone from in relation to this trap.
Well, it looks like there have been a couple sets of footprints in here. It looks like maybe in addition to your own, there's a fresher set of humanoid footprints that came off from the sort of direction of the cave mouth and then looks like it doubled back. In addition to that, there is a set of prints that it's hard to tell what exactly would make these prints. Probably something mechanical in nature and pretty big.
They don't look like they'd be as big as that dead scorpion robot we saw, do they? 'Cause
Probably.
I don't think that thing looks like it'd even fit in this cave.
Probably
I
not
just
as
wanna
big
make sure.
as that dead
Okay.
scorpion robot.
Because
Are they,
I
like,
do remember that there
tire
was a
tracks?
second one of those somewhere.
They're like,
Or-
one second, where am I looking? They're like,
So it's a picture of the creature's feet and be like, they look like something this would make.
Costs extra, Jiro.
and it looks like something with like four kind of smallish feet, but with like a wide foot base. So it's like takes big steps and like moves like two at a time kind of thing. A big thing with little feet.
Not great.
We feeling like at kind of like
That's what I'm
I'm thinking
thinking.
more like a spider bot, but just like 4 legs instead of 8
Okay.
type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
like
little
something
bit-
that's scuttling.
Kind of more spider body than an
spider
ad.
body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when you said the really wide stance, that made me think of like a scuttle, like a bug.
I heard wide and thought feet and not wide stance. That makes more sense. Okay.
Tarazi would quietly relay that information.
No, that those mannequins could charge themselves in here. Maybe other robots also come in to do that?
Or possibly the denizen of this cave has some sort of companion. But it also sounded like the butchers controlled robots as well, according to Beta. So, I rolled a 31 for my perception, which is not nearly as remarkable as the survival roll. But do I see anything scary?
I think one thing that you see that's of note is the other 2 non-exploding murder balls are gone.
Oh. Yeah, the
Looking
other
for scrap, maybe?
The other scrapper. Yeah, no, I like the idea that even in the scar of the spider, there is someone that is just like, there's copper in this robot, and it's calm.
And it's calm.
But I don't know, because I feel like at the same time, if this place is called Machine Cave, and the 4-armed person lives here, maybe they have like, they are cool with technology and have like a robot friend.
Yeah.
Like a giant made of iron. Can't sue me if I say it that way.
Yeah, I'm worried about running into them because didn't we figure out that they have like missiles or something?
Yeah, I mean,
Something big and explodey.
let's maybe hope we don't have to fight them because we seem to be on
Yeah.
the same side, right? We don't have to kill
Yeah,
everything.
well, they at least don't seem to like robots, so hopefully they'll like us.
It's not like they have 3 arms and we'd have to immediately kill them for some reason. Who wants to take point?
Tarazi is happy to, with shield in one hand and null blade in the other.
one thing I forgot to mention on Brixby's perception check looking around here is that there is a on the western side of this cave entrance, like basically right near the entrance over here, if you see where I'm pinging, those stone pillars, if you're taking a close look at them, there is space between them, and it looks like space behind them. So it looks like there's a small passageway back there that you could squeeze into. Like, it'd probably be easy for Brixby, but everybody else would have some issues getting in.
Wait.
Interesting.
Folks, maybe before we head on, I'm sorry I didn't mention this before, but look past here. Tarazi, what do your snake eyes see?
You are like such a champ at moving on Foundry. It's like watching art.
Yeah, I should put that on my LinkedIn.
Foundry motion skills.
Yeah, presumably the same things your ratfolk eyes see. Looks like a space one could squeeze into. I could send Levi through. He's surprisingly good at compressing through small spaces.
Yeah, I'll do a little popsy doodle over there with Levi. Levi, my guy.
Just error token collide. It doesn't know that he has liquid bones.
I wonder if there's a way to...
Oh no, I can't move past. I am stuck where
no.
I am. It's endless token collides. Oh wait, yeah. Can I go there? There I am.
This is what it's like when tokens collide.
This is what it's like.
So is it squeezing the whole way or just the pillars?
Just the pillars are squeezing, like, and Levi, with his complete lack of bones, can just slurp on through the space like it's nothing, and Brixby is small enough to skitter between the things. Anybody else who wants to go through them, I do need an escape artist check to maneuver through there.
Do I even have that? Nope, I have a -1 to that.
That's not great.
So Alan is
got
just
a
gonna
-2.
wave and say good luck.
Does a 3 get me through, Sam?
A 3 doesn't. This is the kind of thing that you can take 20 on.
Okay.
I get the sense that Kira
So does a
and
19 get me through?
Kira and Alwyn might actually need to help each other through it, in addition to taking 20.
So Kira's like, okay, Alwyn, you stand there. I'm going to run back here and then just charge into you.
There's a comedy
Yeah,
of
so
errors
if we
ensues.
take 20 and give each other a +2, does a 21 and a 20 get us through?
Yeah, DC 20. It's escape artist.
That was going to be a rough one.
Tarazi has a -1.
So
We can help you,
will
too.
also need assistance. It's like a human chain, or a human and humanoid chain, just dragging each other through. You're painfully squeezing.
Unless he takes off his armor, yeah. Pass
A
on
human
that
chain where nobody in the party is human.
Yeah, this would be a nice time for pass wall or something, but I don't really want to burn like level 4 spell to get us through. I will to get us out. Because this feels very, what is it, like the monkey trap where it's like easy to get in and hard to get out? That is what
Yeah.
I worry about when you are in a place where you have to make a check to get
We're
through.
in a cat trap.
I don't know why you'd say something like that, but
Or like a lobster pot. That's another one. It's like that. Roll in easy and then can't get back out.
as you squeeze through rather painfully and slowly through the stone pillars blocking up the entrance, you do find a more comfortable cave that is still thin, winding its way through the rock face behind it. So it sort of goes for 20 feet and then like hooks to the right, and then it takes a left, and it sort of snakes its way around.
Whoa.
Hey,
Yikes. You have 2 snakes in the party, man.
Yeah, the snakes are snaking.
Tarazi sees something and will hold up a hand.
Yeah.
sees what appears to be a Ryobi tool of some kind.
Tarazi
Sawzall.
can see coming out of this narrow, low-ceilinged tunnel a wider, almost circular room. Lying on the ground near the middle of that room appears to be some kind of like high-tech gun of some sort, like a long arm.
Looks like a Nerf gun. I mean, which is also the pinnacle of weaponry.
High-tech guns.
That is like a Ryobi.
Yeah, no, it is true. I guess there's a spectrum of Nerf to Ryobi that these things fall on, and it's on there. So is this just like a tech item in the middle of like a snare trap that says like, is this like some real Wile E. Coyote stuff we're about to walk in on? Is this just like a gun on the ground?
It looks like it's just a gun on the ground.
Levi, with his imprecise scent, does he smell something that isn't a party member?
No?
Sus, as the youths say.
So he's going to pull out a scroll. Cleary! And we'll summon our unseen intern, Cleary. Go get the gun, Cleary.
Uh-oh.
So, as Cleary walks out through the last step in this narrow cavern into the wider cavern, everything seems fine. You can't see Cleary, so you don't know how far exactly Cleary gets until you hear just like a little snap as some kind of tripwire gets broken, and an instant later that room just fills with an explosion of electricity as it blasts all through the space, and then there's a second explosion and it's just like grenade central there, and then it clears up, and yeah.
So sorry, Cleary.
I don't think Cleary made it.
Yeah,
Cleary.
but the valuable on-job experience, Cleary. Well,
Plus the lunch stipend.
yes. Don't forget the lunch stipend. Only redeemable at Piotr's.
You can have half a goo tube for free.
I'm gonna percept into the room, or can I like? Because I would still kind of want to percept even after it went off to maybe see if it was perhaps one of those traps that immediately resets and goes off again just to punish your failure.
All right.
This is an add one. If it happens to be a high-tech or mechanical trap, of course, making that a 28 or 29.
With a 29, it looks like this was a combination of high-tech and mundane trap. That's payload was some arc grenades, which have been detonated, so the trap is gone.
It's all clear, Ree. It's actually probably Clary's all over, but we're good.
Yeah, there's just invisible guts everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just the worst.
If you had true seeing, you would just be crying right now.
Oh, it looks like it continues to the east.
Yeah,
Oh,
as you
boy.
come in here, it looks like the cave continues on to the east. And now that you get up into this room and get a better look at this gun, that's not a real gun. That is an assemblage of spare parts that's been kind of put together to look like a weapon, but it's not remotely operable.
Someone tried to trick us.
This is the worst prank war I have ever been in. This is terrible. We're just japing back and forth.
All right, well,
Do not find this buffoonery amusing.
no. My hopes of having a huge gun to give to the snake is no longer...
I assume you meant Levi, who
Yeah.
looked great with a shoulder-mounted cannon.
That's what I mean. Yes, Levi, like with a giant gun. They hold in their tongue or something.
Well, you just strap it onto their back so like the cannon is on the top of of his head
Yeah,
or in his mouth.
Aw,
So he's like
so
a transformer.
that is
It's pretty adorable.
final form.
Hey, Irene will be hitting you up.
So as you head into this next section of cave, and it keeps winding around, it looks like it splits around a stone pillar that holds up the ceiling, and then it keeps going. There's another sort of split further up. It's just like this seemingly never-ending, just thin cave with very low ceiling. It's all very claustrophobic as you make your way through.
While they're moving through this, Brixby, even though like the lesser restoration removed his fatigue, keeps like getting these bits where they're going through this tight cave and then like it looks like his dream. Then he like shakes out of it a bit, and it's not those jagged, oily, weirdly dimensioned tunnels. We're just back here.
As you're coming through, and as Tarazi comes to what looks like the kind of end of this narrow cave, it seems to kind of open up, and the ceiling, instead of being like just barely above his head, stretches up to like 10 feet high, and the ground here looks a little bit more cleared of debris. A voice calls out from somewhere in the room, but you can't see exactly where, and it calls out in Androphan. And it says, "Stop where you are. There are 12 guns trained on you at this moment. Do not take another step."
And Tarazi in Androphan replies, "I will not move further."
And the voice says, like, you can hear kind of a change in it as there's kind of some surprise, perhaps, as it says, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
Super good question. Have you heard the good word of Nalinavati? No, he doesn't say that. My name is Tarazi. My companions and I are here to... And he'll look to Brixby and ask and comment, like, why are we here? We can't tell them about the thing.
We are exploring this canyon and removing evil as we see it. Have you heard of the butchers?
This is also an Androphan.
And the voice is gonna, like, it takes a second. And before we make any decisions here, can I get a diplomacy check just for this, like, sort of beginning interaction here?
I will certainly aid Jeff.
My flat 0, neat.
My -1.
Is he allowed to have more than one aid? Because Alwyn can yell from
Aid
around
from
the
back
corner.
here. We're here too.
Or y'all could talk.
Yeah, if you want to
We should really just
contribute.
put the charisma forward.
I was going to say the character with
The
like
face is
30
hiding in the
charisma
back.
who's hiding in the back.
I aid. The 13.
Me too.
That is it's an aid. I'm not going to say how high it is because I'm going to feel bad, but that is an aid from Alwyn, who calls out from the back. Yes, we don't mean you any harm or anything. Please don't shoot us.
Hi, I'm Kira. I'm staying where I am.
Well, thankfully, I rolled a natural 17 for a 17. With the 3 aids would then bring it up to a 23.
Yes.
Which is probably less than what Alwyn rolled, but
At a
still,
29.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice, though. Pretty nice.
Not too
I
shabby.
keep forgetting we don't have, like, a party face at the moment.
I mean,
It's
you
you.
both have perfectly good faces.
So I think the voice is going to say, I don't know any butchers, but if you'd like, you can move forward. I will not shoot you. Don't be alarmed.
I think Tarazi, as a sign of good faith, would sheath the null blade. And still has his shield out, but casually, and he'll just approach. Not wanting to be in front now for a conversation, but would gladly back up Alwyn with his 0 diplomacy.
Yes.
And Alwyn will kind of move towards the front over here.
And as you come around this rock, and sort of step out into the main part of the hallway here, you see standing in front of you, pointing a rifle that looks a lot like that rifle that was on the ground, except not made of spare parts, and clad in the looks like leather armors made from the hide of an Aurum Vorax, a vaguely female, 4-armed humanoid person who would stand about 6'5" were it not for her elongated cranium that makes her closer to 7 feet tall total. Her eyes appear to be solid black with white dots in them, and her nose and mouth are totally covered by a gas mask-like apparatus. And she has, in addition to the rifle in 2 of her hands, she has little daggers in 2 of her other hands. She's like a very slim, tall figure staring at all of you with a extraordinarily difficult to read face on account of most of it being covered and also it being extremely alien to all of you. Now, Kira and Brixby would probably recognize the general shape of this person as the shape of a face puncher from Days Gone By. But of course, this one appears to be very much alive.
Oh, right, he was undead. I forgot about that.
We are not scared. We've actually encountered one of your kind before. Again, I'm Brixby. I'm a rat folk. We're all shaped this way.
Thank you for not punching my friends.
Yeah, this makes me a bit suspicious, but maybe I just have a bad relationship template.
My name is Alwyn. I have never met anyone like you before, but if Brixby and Kira say they have, and they were nice, I'll believe them.
Oh,
Well,
no.
Yeah, he's assuming because you said you're not scared that the previous one you met was nice and not someone that almost killed the entire party twice.
Fair. I don't know, maybe they went to, like, high school together.
And she says, well, my name is Asuma. If you are familiar with my kind, then you know that I come from a distant world. This place is strange to me, as I'm sure my kind is strange to you, but it does good that we can talk. I did not realize that you would be able to speak this language. I need allies. I need companions. There are those who took my previous allies to the west. They are horrible creatures that defile the bodies of my kin. I require aid in securing revenge. I don't know you, but you haven't attacked me, and you at least have been strong enough to get past some of Binock's defenses. You may be capable if you're willing to help me.
Who is Binock?
Binox is the, it's a strange machine that dwells on the other side of this cave. It created the machine caves. It is, there's no delicate way to put this. The machine it's quite out of control.
Is it kind of spidery?
It's a little bit spidery, only like half spidery, because like only 4 legs, but then a lot of extra stuff.
Cool.
What kind of stuff?
Arms with guns mounted in them, with grabbing claws and built-in tools and all sorts of things, but it's not necessarily a hostile creature. If you can speak Androphan, you can theoretically negotiate with it.
You like roommates?
I don't know if it knows that I actually dwell here. It's too large to get through the tunnels into this side.
Do you know what stickers are?
I am not familiar with stickers.
Kira will pull out a sticker that says, "New friend?" Question mark.
Incredibly, it's in Androphan.
Yeah, no, she is prepared. She also hands one in common to Tarazi.
Nice.
Just a sad, like, book of ancient Osiriani stickers that Kira bought one day, and then
Like, look who's
For
laughing
sale.
now.
book of Osiriani stickers never used. It's just the saddest.
She says, please, come with me into my home. We can be a bit more comfortable back there. And she'll sort of lead the way. You got to walk through a pool of standing water to get there, but it's back into another part of the cave.
And then the electric trap goes off.
Yeah.
She's got her.
She just throws
Trust.
a toaster in there with us.
Once you get into the water, it's over. The bottom drops out, and you all drown. So the room,
You got much to lose.
the room at the back here is split in 2 by 3 rock columns, and the floor is clear of debris. And there's a small rectangular device humming in one corner. Its grill-like front filling the air with warmth, so that the whole area, instead of being a dank, dark cave, is actually like warm enough to get comfortable in. Lying between the rock pillars on the south is a deerskin pallet on a bed of evergreen branches, like a homemade bed. There's also a pile of berries and mushrooms sitting on a boulder that's like been sheared flat to use as a table. And there's like some like freshly cooked small game, like on little spits leaning up against the wall. So she's got a nice little operation here. And she'll sort of come in and sort of gesture around with her 4 arms all at once, like putting the gun on her back, and say, please, if you'd like to eat, I have enough to share.
I think Alwyn will also give her not one of the good ones that I can only do a certain number of times a day, but just a regular one of his fruit. He'll add it to the table.
She'll sort of nod in appreciation there.
No, it's deeply offensive in Kasathan culture.
You say Kira offers an apple and says, "It might make you really sick, though." And then she'll take the apple back.
That's not a great sales pitch.
Brixby, who just finished a cooked mystery meat over the fire-flavored goo tube, wipes his mouth off and is like, well, yeah, I could eat it. Whatever it is. Can we identify what the thing is on the spit?
Sure. I mean, that I don't think I'll make you roll for it. It looks just like it's sort of she caught like some squirrels and lizards and has cooked them up.
You said we could negotiate with Binox if we can speak this language, which I think all of us can. Would we be able to have it offer any help in rescuing your friends? We sort of already took care of those mannequin people, so I don't know if it can lend us any of those, but do you think there's anything else it might be able to do to help us?
It's incredibly skilled at building machines and repairing machines. But I don't think that it would physically aid you in any sort of a combat scenario. I think that combat is sort of a last resort for it.
Yeah, I was more thinking along the lines of, like, can we rent a mannequin from it type thing? Like, I'm assuming from the description of this thing, we're not going to be able to convince it to go help us fight, because it sounds like it would win without us help.
It might be kind of mad, actually, that you broke the mannequins. It's toys or its guardians, whatever it wants to call them. That you might get off on the wrong foot there.
Well, we don't have to say that we're the ones that broke it.
What benefit would we have to negotiate with this Binox? Could we simply avoid that part of this cave?
Yes, certainly. I don't know that the creature over there is, or the being that occupies that side of the cave is, something that you absolutely need to encounter by any stretch of the imagination. He's just, a potential, maybe unstable ally, but potentially powerful.
How long have you been here?
That is a complicated question to answer. I believe that I was here, just not conscious, for a very long time. I don't know how long it was. I awoke a few weeks ago, and I have been in this valley ever since.
Where were you when you awoke? Was it on a craft of some sort or in a building?
I was in a craft when I arrived here, an escape shuttle. My companions and I were in stasis pods there, but when I awoke, our pods they'd been removed. They were in a strange biological cave. We were being held by they're creatures that identify themselves as the Dominion of the Black.
Don't love that. Sounds really cool. Like wicked metal. But like yeah.
Have you?
I was just gonna see if we could roll a knowledge on that at all, if there is a knowledge.
Not sure what kind of knowledge. I would say probably Alwyn is the only one who would really be able to roll like his Dark Tapestry lore.
Ooh.
Well, that is a 26.
Nice.
18 on the die.
Wow.
Dark tap.
Dark tap.
Dang. Well,
I did not realize these guys were in regular Pathfinder. Holy crap. That's awesome.
Yeah, the Dominion of the Black is an impossibly ancient, impossibly huge, like, empire that spans the spaces between the stars, that has contacted Galarian several times in known history, the most prominent of which being contact with ancient Assyrian. But it's very difficult to know how much about them that's known is legend and how much about them is truth. They seem to be composed of numerous different races, numerous different species, and like they're almost impossibly alien, like very difficult to even like comprehend their motivations, and like their biology is basically like impossibly alien to folks on Galarian.
Yeah, I think Alwyn on hearing that name, he kind of freezes up for a second. He says, I know that name. We, in the colony, I talked before, we worship the true gods, the ones that they sometimes call outer gods, but our gods aren't the only things that are out in deep space. And we were warned before about some of the other things that were out there. There's so many different stories about them, though, and they conflict so much that I don't know what's true and what isn't, but the one thing they all have in common is the name, the Dominion of the Black.
That would maybe make sense with the Migo and the other thing, with the brain bubbles.
Did we know that it's called?
Yeah, did we ever get the name of the...
I don't know if we ever did.
Nethal
That's why I
Ghoul?
didn't want to drop the...
I think you actually did successfully
Okay.
identify the Nethal Ghoul.
Yeah, so we've seen the corpse that's in the front of the cave. They're called the Nethal, and also a distant sighting of a Migo. Describes it, pink, bulbous, whatnot. Which person that we met inside of this canyon describes as the Butchers, and seems very similar to the experimentations that you were describing.
And
Those the out. Oh yeah, go ahead.
well, she kind of shakes her head at that and says, "The person who you spoke to was mistaken. The Dominion of the Black and those strange insect-like creatures, they appear to be enemies. They were not interested in alliances. When I tried to approach them, they nearly killed me, but I have seen them fighting against the Dominions, the crab monsters like the one I propped up in front."
Oh.
Well, that's like some hot tea. Like that. That is... It's nice to get. But yeah, sorry, Izzy.
You're fine. Have you run into anyone else since you've been here? Anyone outside from the people that you've already mentioned now?
No, there were... It appears the Dominion has taken control of some of the machines. There were 2 enormous robots. I tried to destroy both of them. I only got the one. I used nearly all of my explosives in the process. I haven't seen anyone else living, but I haven't... Well, I saw the old farmer. You were sleeping in his area last night. I've seen him.
He was the one watching us.
So the allies you mentioned, they're your compatriots from the pods.
Yes,
How many?
you're gonna make Sam look up the number.
No, I'm sorry.
That's messed up.
Yes.
My immersion.
There are 5 of my kin that remain behind. I was the only one who was able to escape.
I mean, I have terrible sense motive, but let's be besties. Like,
Yeah.
right? I don't know.
She already
maybe
has a
someone.
sticker.
I have a decent sense motive. I got a +6. I can roll
That's
it.
more than
Yeah,
my
if you
sense
want.
motive.
Glad I switched die, 'cause
21.
that's a 15. So that is, also a 21.
Yeah, with a 21, and she seems to be genuine.
Do you know about high fives?
We do high 10s.
I
She's
was gonna
a
say she can high five all 4 of
I
us
was
at
gonna
once if she wants to.
We usually do
is
like 2 hands, because then we still have
The other two.
2
for-
hands to keep busy
for
or
weapons.
hold things and stuff. How do you get anything done with only just the 2? I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty rough sometimes, but we get by.
Is it
I sup-
both hands on one side, or like the tops or the bottoms? I assume it's both on one side.
I think it's both on one side.
Kira offers 2 hands in vertical placement.
Just do both right hands for a high 5, or a high 10 rather.
Cool. I'm Kira. This is Kingsley. We haven't talked about him in a long time.
He's large size now.
He's always there, just hanging out.
Yeah, I mean, you could consider us allies against what you've described. We do have other reasons for being in the canyon, but ones that you have to trust that are for the good of this place, this planet. We worry. I'm not trying to be cryptic, but we will help you.
If you will help me retrieve my kin, then I will help you with your quest.
Put her there.
I was gonna say, do you want to shake on it? Times 4.
All of us.
All
Shake
of us,
everyone's
yeah.
hands at once.
Yeah.
Levi will reach down and around with his 10 feet of reach and just kind of, I don't know,
Grapple all of us.
give her like a
12
like
constrict
a
damage.
fist bump, but with his face.
I was gonna say, like, rolls the tail up into a knot and fist bumps.
A goopy snuzzle.
Aww.
Goopy Snuzzle.
And you're
Probably uptitle.
Episode title.
Yep.
You're
I
sure
was gonna
that
type
that's
the same
not
thing.
one of the horrible monsters, right? That this is normal.
No, this is the
He's
dominion
called
of
a
a snake.
All, most snakes on your planet are like that, all drippy.
No, he's been through a lot, but I promise he's an ally.
He is as damp as he is friendly.
He's very damp.
Real wet
Just-
snake.
Nod and be like, know that feel, bro.
First, you've been out here for a while, and clearly you are capable. The robot that you took down, that mechanical beast, shows that you are a formidable fighter. But do you need anything? Are you injured? Aside from your allies, are you missing anything? Can we help you in any other way immediately?
We have like 900 goo tubes.
Well, I've been able to find enough food here to last me for the time being, and what equipment I have, I've either stolen from the Dominion hive that I escaped from, or fashioned together from whatever happens to be around. But I thank you for your offer. I'm pretty well equipped.
And here I thought she would be absolutely stoked to have some goo tubes.
Or like
No.
some grenades. I don't know. I mean,
Well, grenades would be good, but
If you have
yeah,
some.
I
of
mean,
those,
if
yeah.
you're offering
you
grenades,
guys
I'll take
have
grenades.
I feel like
Yeah.
we still have like a couple, right? I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but after the whole like Sam's checkmate move with the grenade, I don't really want to use the grenades. they don't work in the action economy in a way that I like. But maybe I'm arming this person too quickly or denying us a potential trump card in the future. So,
We got a couple
it
grenades.
just seems like their love language is explosions.
Aw.
She says, yeah, I had enough of the GooTube thing back on the Divinity. That was enough for one lifetime, I think.
You and I are going to get along just fine.
The-
Wait a second.
The what? You're on the what?
Brixby pulls out a gramophone and scratches the record on it or something.
Yeah, I come from a different world entirely. I grew up on a place called Kasath. One day, our people sort of like you, but sort of different from you, and just sort of gesture at Alwyn and Kira. Be like, I mean, they're not the same, but kind of similar. They came in a huge ship that they called the Divinity. They invited me and my companions to join them, and we came along. They taught us their language. They trained us with their weapons and their tools. They promised that they would return me home, that I might share what they taught me with my people. But they were attacked by the Dominion of the Black. The ship escaped. I know not how, but it was greatly damaged, and the society aboard the ship broke down, and my kin and I were forced to defend ourselves from mutineers that seemed overcome by otherworldly urges for violence. And she goes a little bit dark there, and she says, there were others on the ship who had abducted members of another tribe from my planet. They were keeping them as pets in a large contained habitat. We tried to rescue them, but by the time we got there, the ship had begun to shake apart, and my kin and I had to shelter in an escape shuttle, and use the pods to sustain our lives for the journey. We weren't conscious of what happened to that, but I mean, the shuttle crashed here, and when I woke, we were in the hands of the Dominion.
You're from when the, what do you call it here? And he looks at Brixby. Something about stars falling, right?
Yeah, there was we call it starfall on our planet. Close enough.
Well, I was thinking of the Rain of Stars.
Rain of Stars. Yeah, sorry, not Starfall. That is the place. Yeah, we call
The
it
other
Rain
one,
Rain of Stars. Pulls out a history book, points to it on our planet.
Yeah, I think Alwyn, the part that's confusing him, like obviously not me the player, but him, is like she's talking about something that he knows is thousands of years ago. So like, like basically, how are you alive?
This may mean nothing to you, but have you ever heard of one of your kind named Hatuath?
And she thinks for a moment, and I think perhaps he might have been one of the others.
Because we found
I mean, like, we found was she just describing what we found in Torch? Like the large...
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Where
like
they
the
kept
desert
them?
biome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the little, like, ant farm for Kasatha.
We traveled from a place where under a mountain it seemed that it described that habitat. We met one of your kind, no longer alive like us, but still moving, eating, punching. We eventually gave them their final rest, but was not sure if you like played lacrosse together or...
No, we didn't know each other personally, but I thank you for doing them that service. I am afraid that the rest of my kin, who were unable to escape from the others, may survive as Dominion puppets in a blasphemous half-existence. Something like you described from that Hetuath. I must put it to an end.
Well, I know if they're anything like Hetuath, this mug is like a magnet for them.
And in my defense, it was only when we realized how long that they've been dead, or also they've been in stasis, that I thought it was worth asking. Especially after the whole biome thing. It's not just like, didn't you get... Because I'm from Maine. I know what that's like. People are just like, oh yeah, there's that other guy from Maine. You must know. And they're usually right, honestly, because there's only like 35 people in that state. 34 now.
How far from here is this biological cave where your companions are being kept?
It's a few miles to the west if you follow the river.
I don't want to tell her about the Halic. She might be like, my property.
I mean, that was a totally separate wreck. Maybe it's not her
Yeah,
wreck.
I mean, the Gauntlet versus the Divinity, or wherever she was at the time. The Torch wreck.
But she could very easily be like, that is the technology of my people. I think you're totally right on that one. She doesn't seem too imperious yet, but I don't know. She is a Cave Kasatha, and we do not have a good track record with Cave Kasatha.
Cape Sophas.
At least at this time you've got a living Kasatha.
For now. I'm kidding.
Oh, snap. Shots fired. She holds up the gun.
Too bad we're all here with ready actions again. It's just like your nightmares all over again.
Do you think that the 6 of us together would be enough to take on this cave? I know you were worried about trying to do it yourself, but was that because you think you needed a few more? Or do you think even we might not be enough? Should we try to gather more forces, or do you think we'll be okay?
Well, I haven't seen you in battle, but I think that a direct assault would likely be suicide. I think that we, could theoretically fight our way through them if we were, stealthy or smart, or we could perhaps find other allies. I don't know if anyone else out there is willing to actually take them on, but perhaps there are ways to weaken them. Of other weapons in the valley, other pieces of the ship I came down on, or something.
Like there's some sort of mechanical way to gain points that will weaken them.
Yeah.
When we hit certain thresholds.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm like, do we want to try to fight a cave full of Neth Algu?
I think we want to. I think we definitely want to see what's going on in the canyon, because I feel like we get an idea, and then like it just is like, oh yeah, and then there's also Peter, and then the Migo, and like these aliens do not like each other and are fighting.
Yeah, I wonder if we can like trick them into fighting each other and get rid
Well,
of
yeah,
both
and I think
groups.
that alone is like super valuable for us. That we are not.
Yeah, to have that knowledge.
Yeah, we're not technically alone in our battle here. And
Yeah.
what could we? Yeah.
And I mean, realistically, the super great instructions we have from Cassandra, like, it's in a cave out of 328,000 caves. We'll have to. It seems like we're going to need to thin out some of these folks to be able to ever find the neurocam.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't really want to mess with Binox too much right now. I think it might be, I mean, unless someone has a compelling, because like I'm curious for sure. And
Yeah,
like
it sounds like we might be able to, like, maybe trade with it or something, but I kind of want to wait a couple days before talking to, like, in-game days.
yeah,
Hope
yeah,
it
that's
forgets
the
about the
part.
mannequins.
Yeah, like it's probably in there right now with like an oversized dustpan muttering and like sweeping
Dang
them
kids.
And hopefully it didn't have security cameras. It's like, yeah, no, I saw you on the ring. I know it was you.
Deep
We
fake.
do know that technology exists, right? Like we did see. Well, we didn't see Sahasho, but
Yeah, but we saw,
You saw Furcus
what's
at
his
least.
face?
yeah.
Yeah, Furkish out on the security
Furcus.
footage.
Okay. Well, we have sort of a plan. Little mini plan.
Yeah. Yeah, basically just kind of scout out more of the valley and see if we can maybe find some other tech.
Can you tell us anything else, like landmarks in the valley? Anything else that you've seen? Anything else that comprises the Dominion of the Black that we've not yet described? Enemies, hazards. We know about the star sickness. They call it radiation. It's like a poison from the rock.
I think she'll sort of like scratch out like a general outline of the valley, like on the floor, show how it's kind of Y-shaped, and like she'll point out like something on the north hand side, like there's like another sort of mini valley, kind of like the one that the machine cave in, and she'll point to that and say that is it's a fungus encrusted cave. I believe that's where the Migo are. And then she'll point sort of to the middle prong of this weird shape, and point out like that's where the Dominion Hive is at the back, and that they have an enormous rotting thing in front. It's I don't know what it is, but it's huge and putrid. And then she'll point to the southern fork and say, I believe that there's some poisonous creature down on this southern side as well. That's about all she's got.
That's helpful. Super helpful is what I said earlier. I'll cut that in there. What do y'all want to do?
Go explore the door? No, we should wait. We should give that one some...
Yeah,
we don't wanna run into it.
I think
Binox might
maybe
be a little mad.
Yeah.
Explore more. It sounds like both of the caves that we know we don't want to go into should be pretty easy to recognize. One's going to be covered in fungus, and the other has like a dead elephant or something in front of it. So I think we could probably explore more of the valley and see if we can find this other crashed tech that she talked about.
Yeah, and we might even find another way into one of those caves.
Yeah, like a secret entrance.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right, so heading out of the machine cave for now.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, and before we go to bed, let's just say Asuma's traveling with you now, so you are a party of 6 these days, walking through the valley. And while we're walking here, could Kira just bounce me a quick will save?
That's never fun.
Okay.
Rage.
That is not going to be something that's super helpful with a rage. That's going to be you said will save? Oh, well.
That is correct.
Oh, that's a 14?
All right.
I don't know. Zach's face is so scared.
I'll just make a note of something, and then I'll go to bed.
I feel like this has happened before.
Unnecessarily ominous, Sam.
Yeah. Good night, Sam's note.
Yeah, night, Sam.
Good night, Sam. Good night, Asuma.
It's because I gave her a sticker.
Pod against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
I do really enjoy telling folks that I have no idea about anything relating to the book. This is just my only hat, and I am a tall male guy. People do how about them Blazers? And I'm like, all right, please cut all of this out because I really don't want this. I'm doing this episode. I'm cutting this out.
Releasing the Blazers cut.
Oh, man.
Zach's NBA podcast, which is just, I don't know. What do you want me to say?
I could name all the people in the original Space Jam, and I have no idea how they're doing now. Muggsy Bogues.
Nice.
Shaq.
Nailed it.
That's it. That's everyone who was in the movie.
The bloopers.
Definitely
that's
at least
Muggsy
Michael
Bogues.
Jordan.
Discovered the other day that Wilt Chamberlain is apparently the strongest person Arnold Schwarzenegger has ever met, according to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Interesting. Little Schwartz fact from Giroux.
Little Schwartz
Well, that's
shorts.
still basketball.
Schwartz shorts. Who has Schwartz shorts?
Who wears Schwartz shorts?
Exactly. That is how we will be introing all of your future Schwartz shorts bits until we're sued by whoever invented shorts. or-
Shorts?
Was that like a Nair commercial? It was like a.
I think so.
Okay,
Something
yeah.
like that.
Because I don't think it was like big short shorts, like the short shorts.
Big
Council.
short shorts. Yeah.
Big short shorts.
The Short Shorts Consortium. They had to be broken up back in the aughts.
Oh my god.
1,
Kings.
2, 3, clap.
1, 2, 3 kings.
Kitty. It's literally dinner time. I don't even know what she's doing here. Sorry, we're recording an episode.
It's all right. I feel like there's like a cat butt inevitability index that must be satisfied every time.
As Pot Against the Machine records, the likelihood of cat butt approaches 1.